Three for the Money is brought to you by the Trendscenter app. This is the best tool for sports betting research. The Trendscenter app, you can test betting systems from the past 20 years, explore thousands of existing trends and systems from top betting experts, choose from hundreds of filters to test different systems for each sport. Save these trends and get notified when their systems have games. Download the app and use our code TFTM for 15% off a premium membership after a 2-day free trial. Okay. We're here. We're back. It's Three for the Money. New episodes every Thursday, per usual. Sponsored by the Trendscenter app. Link in the bio, 15% off a premium membership, the number one tool for sports bettors. And it's another week of not a lot of things happening. But let's check in with the boys. How are we doing, Chris? I know you're consistently gambling. So how is that?
Well, this was the first day I've actually made a full card in a little bit. Uh, Not going great, per usual. I had a parlay ruined on it was a no run first inning parlay. Um, Came down to the last leg per usual. It was a minus 170. So I was like, oh, it's hitting, no question. It loses in the top of the first inning. Never had a shot. Um, yeah, I think I'm 1-2 right now with one going right now at the moment. Yeah. So I have the under and Blue Jays Rays under 8.5. So we need that one. But yeah, gambling's going all right. Fresh off a college football loss in my dynasty. Was waiting to record, and I was like, you know what? I got some time to kill. Let's hop on the old PlayStation 5, bust a game out real quick. Lost. Lost to San Diego State. Wasn't even close. This is the first season I'm actually playing defense, and it's hard, man. So yeah, yeah. So fresh off college football loss, but shaking it off. Gonna get the win back here in a little bit when we're done. But excited to talk gambling and just ball with the boys.
Hell yes. I am also in that college football bubble right now. But let's check in with Sean. How are you?
I am okay. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to the boys. How do I put this? I am feeling very intelligently disabled today.
Mm,
Um,
yes.
Cognitively impaired, uh, neurodivergent, even,
Mm,
if you will. If you're picking up what I'm putting down.
yes.
Um, I had a I just had an all-time neurodeficient morning. Um, I was I have to tell you about this because I felt so stupid this
Please
morning.
tell.
I am walking out of the house. I've, completed my morning routine. I have brushed my teeth. I have made my coffee. I have packed up the things that I needed for the day. I am walking outside with my coffee cup. I didn't pour the coffee from the Keurig into the coffee cup, so I'm just carrying an empty cup out to my car. I have locked the door behind me as per usual. I then try to unlock the door with my car keys by pressing the button, and I'm like, "What am I doing?"
Oh my gosh.
And I put my office key into the house door, which is it's like a fox. So it's very recognizable that this does not belong to the house. But I just had to take a deep breath, had to sit in my car for a second. I was like, can I get to work? am I gonna forget how to drive on the way to work? But yes, I've been battling that feeling for the whole day.
Jesus Christ. That's a major
Yeah.
major case of the cloud brain there.
Dude, I've never felt dumber. Truly. Truly have never felt dumber.
I've done that a lot. That like, maybe not a lot. I've done that a few times in my life where I go to like unlock the either lock or unlock my house, like my front door, and I'll hit like unlock or lock on my key fob, and I'm like,
Oh, okay.
what am I doing?
I was like, when I was doing it, I was like, how did I think this would work? This isn't a car. This is a house.
No, I've done that. I've done that more than once.
I'm surprised houses don't have that by now, to be honest.
Like I mean, you can
Like
get like we have like an app that you can download and like for the lock that you can
yeah.
unlock
Okay.
and lock it, which
That's
but
fair.
that it's clear that's similar, but yeah, just like an old regular.
Yeah, just a fob.
I don't want that. That's too futuristic. I don't want that.
A fob is more futuristic than an app.
In the term fair, but in terms of like a front door, I don't know if it's more futuristic, but it would be a unnecessary invention,
I see.
and I don't want that. I don't know. I don't want that. But I also had a very stupid moment earlier today. My girlfriend's car is in the shop, so she's been using mine to go to work, and I work from home, so it's whatever. But I was gonna go get some Cracker Barrel for dinner tonight, and I was all excited. I ordered it on the app. I was like, oh, about to go get me some Cracker Barrel. Go to leave, look outside. My car's not there. I was like, oh my, you fucking idiot. So I called the restaurant and canceled the order, but I was just like, I was so excited for Cracker Barrel, and then
Oh,
I look out my window. I'm like, there's no car there. I'm a stupid boy.
Damn.
just trying
That
to get
sucks.
barreled on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Who
Nothing
doesn't
like getting
who doesn't
barreled.
want to who doesn't love getting barreled on any day?
Yeah, fair. Will, how are you doing?
Hopefully better than us.
I pray to God. I pray to God someone is coherent on this show.
I haven't been too bad today. Went to like a little networking event for my job, and at these you just do like a 60-second pitch on what you do, and then after everyone does theirs, then it's kind of like like open networking, and you just talk to people. But I just like left. Like I didn't talk to anyone. And it felt really weird after
Why did you go?
Because I had
Really?
to.
No.
Because
Oh, okay.
I had
Okay.
to. It's kind of like one of those things where, if you just keep showing up, no matter if you really talk to people or not, it's a weekly thing. So it's not, there's going to be other chances. And I've been doing it at this point where a lot of the same people go. But there's not a lot of new information I can find. I pretty much know what everyone's about. Yeah, it just felt really, really weird and like super, super tired. It's already been a tough week. I don't know what it is about this week. It's been kind of brutal, honestly. But
It's been dragging.
yeah,
It's been raining.
Yeah.
So that probably has something to do with it.
The weather's been bad, but yeah.
I've been pretty drowsy. But then in other news, let's just get into our NCAA Dynasty modes. We don't have to make it like, we did go too in depth, but because nobody can really follow this, but I do want to share with the classroom. So my first season as the OC, on Western Michigan. OC Corinthians Thompson led the team to 10 wins, and we beat Appalachian State in the Cure Bowl. So, not too shabby. I think I went undefeated in the MAC. I only lost to. It's crazy. Like the first like 2 or 3 games in the season for any team in the MAC is brutal. It's fucking brutal, dude. It's like I played Ohio State in my first season, and then like a lesser Big Ten team, and it's that for like 2 or 3 games for the first few weeks, and it's brutal, dude. And like I almost beat like BYU, and it was so crushing, just not being able to complete passes, and they just go to the defense. Like I'm just throwing so many interceptions, brother. It's it's brutal. But I just finished my second season, and the second off season. I was able to sign a 4-star. Uh, no, I was able to sign a 3-star QB with a gem rating, so that means he's a 4-star. Um, he is a 68 overall starting out this season, um, but he only needs to go up like 12 more points in order to get the starting job, which is very, very easy to do, truthfully. But he'll develop for this first year. I do. My other star player is I have a running back. He's a senior this year. I'm going into my third season as OC of Western Michigan Broncos. His name's Jalen Buckley. I hope to God this guy is real because he's an absolute dog. Starting this third season, he's a 90 overall. He's a senior. And the first game of the season we play is against Michigan. And that's going to be an incredibly tall task. But I will play this game, and I will do my best to try and run all over Michigan. And so we're gonna see what we can do. We're building, we're recruiting, and we're hucking the ball. Where are we at? Where are we at, boys?
Okay.
You want to go?
I'll
I
go.
want an update on Tommy touchdowns. See how he's
yes.
doing.
Yes, that
Well,
was Tommy touchdown.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I finished my first season with Tommy touchdowns at Colorado State. Went to the New Mexico Bowl. I was watching Breaking Bad on the side, so I was like, "This is pretty meant to be." Faced Liberty in the New Mexico Bowl. Had an amazing fourth quarter comeback to win 37-31. Great feeling. I just threw an absolute dime. And then he got an offer from North Texas to be the head coach. I accepted the offer.
Oh,
And I gotta tell you, I shouldn't have done that. I miss my boys, dude. I miss my guys. Like I don't even want to play as Tommy touchdowns anymore. But I'm gonna. But I have been more or less exploring all the other game modes that they have to offer. I started another dynasty just with MT, just because I knew I'd do it anyways. I do it eventually. So, but that head coach name is Blitz Bumpkins. So I'm
Beautiful.
just leaning into just the full on just football talk, like this guy know what he's talking about. Like his first name is Blitz. Like
Pretty good.
So been doing the
Road to Glory.
not be a pro. What's
Road to Glory.
Road to Glory. Yeah, I've been doing Road to Glory. That's kind of hard, especially if you start out as an underdog. But yeah, it's cool. I really like playing different game modes because sometimes my dynasty makes me want to snap my controller in half. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm starting both seasons with my dynasty. I'm starting a new season on each of my dynasties. So I'll update you how the mean green go, but I'm gonna tell you I don't like it. Shouldn't have done it. I was like, well, this is how you move up, right? But I miss my boys, dude.
Yeah, after one season, that's pretty bold.
Yeah, I did go to a better school though. Like I did go Colorado State was a 1.5-star school. North Texas is a 2-star school.
Hey, there we go.
So I did go to a better school. I don't have better players, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it'll be the same.
Yeah. But Chris, how is Catfish
Slaughter?
Yes. How's he doing?
Good. He's doing well. We're about 4, I think it's 5 games now. Just played my 5th game in my 3rd season. First season was whatever. I was still kind of learning the game, throwing like Will, lots of interceptions. One beat the shit out of, I think it was Miami, Ohio, in I think it was like the LA Bowl. No, it was the Arizona Bowl. That was it. The Snoop Dogg Gin and Juice Arizona Bowl. So that was pretty fun. Second season, yeah, it is wild. Second season, went to the college football playoff. Went to the college football semifinal. Played USC in the first game. Won on a nail biter, last second field goal to win. I think it was 23-20 or 23-21. Excuse me. That was crazy. And I was like, after that, I was like, you know what? Whatever happens in this next game happens. I don't care. We were playing Kansas State, who I believe had only lost 1 game. We're playing the Cotton Bowl. Went down pretty early. I think it was 17-0 after the first quarter. So I was like, you know what? Whatever. This is how it goes. Came back, won on a last second, like 60-yard touchdown, which I wasn't even expecting that to work. We got the ball back with 5 seconds left on our own, like 35, which I don't really know how that happened. That's why I hate playing not playing defense. Is like you just sim it and it's like, okay, you have the ball at the 35 now. It's like, okay, but what happened? Which maybe there's a way to see that. I'm just too dumb to figure it out. But so like whatever. One play, just heaved it, and guy caught it and he ran it in, and I lost my fucking mind. I was the only one. I was home by myself. I was running up and down the halls like, we fucking won. Let's go. We're winning the Natty year 2, baby. San Jose State. Played Georgia the next game, and they lost 4. They were like 10-4 or whatever it was at the time. So I was like, oh, Georgia's beatable. We can do this. Got boat raced. I think it was 49-21, and the 21 came with about 30 seconds left. It was 49-6 for a large portion of the game. So I was like, okay, at least it's realistic. Because part of me was like, I don't really, San Jose State winning a national championship is not, in year 2, is not realistic. I want it to be real. And I got my wish. So year 3, I was like, I want to control the defense. I want to know what's going on defense. Start out pretty well. Now we are, what are we now? 3-1, 4. Yeah, we're 4-1 now. That was my first loss. That sucked. But, yeah, and I checked my schedule after my last game, after the game before that, before my soul crushing loss. I checked the schedule. I have 5 straight road games in conference. That's bullshit.
That tough schedule
almost seems like a bug. In the scheduling.
It happened. Like, it's bullshit. I've seen it on other teams. Like sometimes when I'm bored, I'll check like, oh, how's Tennessee doing this season, or how's MT doing? And then I'll look at their schedule. It's like they had to play 4 straight road games. That's not fair. That's not how it should be. Thank
Mm-hmm.
God that's never happened to me. And of course, which makes it almost impossible to recruit because I played my first 3 games were home games. I can't schedule visits in my first 3 games. That's not how it works. So then it's like, I only had like 2 home games after, and I think I have 2 home games in conference play. So all my recruits are going to be in those 2 games.
Yeah.
But
I love scheduling visits.
oh, it's
I'm
recruiting
like,
is
yeah,
recruiting is fun.
it is fun. It is
People
fun.
told me it was gonna like it was difficult, and that's what I read. It was like it's difficult. It's more difficult than like the last game, like the 14 and 13 and all that. So I was like, okay, this is probably gonna suck, but it's actually a lot of fun. I spend more time doing that than actually playing the games.
Oh yeah, I spend a lot of time recruiting, and I love scheduling visits. And on my MT Dynasty, I got the chance to schedule a visit to the WKU game, and I was like, "Let's go, you're coming!" Like, because on that Dynasty, I picked the recruiter class, or like
Hmm.
the mod or whatever
Yeah.
it's called for the coach.
Hmm.
Guy like it's so easy to recruit if you do that. It's so easy.
Yeah. I don't remember what. I don't think I did that. I did something else, but yeah, which it's fun. After we go into the playoff, though, we're getting a lot more 4 and 5 stars in the pool.
Hmm.
Some I saw when I was making like the recruiting board, I saw some 2 stars interested. I was like, fuck out of here with that. 2 stars? No,
Yeah,
sir.
I
Go play at like go play at like or Sam Houston. I don't need you.
I mean,
I got my elitist cap on real quick.
yeah. At a
Yeah.
point with Colorado State, I was like fighting for 1 star guys. I was like, please, like,
Yep.
please come here. I need people. Like,
Yeah, towards the end, I think it was like my first. Yeah, it was my first season. Towards the end, I was like, "Oh man, I haven't like I all but the corners that it's like I need corners. All the ones I put on my board went somewhere else. I need bodies." So it was just going back to the guys
mhm.
I hadn't committed yet, and it was 2 stars. Like, oh my god, this team. So maybe that's why my defense is so fucking terrible. But I just I just gotta get my guys in. That's how
Yeah,
it goes. Gotta get my guys
you just gotta get the right, you just gotta get the right
in.
guys too. And you, at some point, you do need
Yeah.
bodies.
But and going into my 3rd season, I did get a 4 star tight end out of the portal who is just a dog. I mean, I'm running this guy on just vert routes and just tossing it up and like I was like, this is Kyle Pitts. This is in the Mountain West. This is amazing. I think
Hell yeah.
so I was like, if a tight end can win a Heisman, it's him. He won't, but because but yeah, it's a lot of fun. I love this
Who
game
did
so much.
who did you face in the Mountain West Conference Championship?
Oh, I need to tell you about this. It was Boise State. I lost on a goal line stand, and
Oh,
yeah, I had it going in at the 1, and no, I had it going in at like the 4, and I was like, I can't like they have been shutting down the run all half. I can't run the ball anymore because whenever I start a game, I just run until they can't stop it.
hmm.
So I was like, they're stopping the run. I can't run it with the game on the line. So excuse me. So I dialed up just a drag route just to try to punch it in from 4 yards out. Got stopped at the 1, and I was like, "That's it. Like I'm not like college football playoff. Like they're not taking me now. Season's over. I'll have to go back to the gin and juice bowl." But the college football, I got the invite as a 12 seed somehow, which
Hell
that
yeah.
was one thing that was so like I know it's a video game, whatever, but 3 group of 5 teams made the playoff on my 2nd season. It was me, Boise, and Tulane made the playoff.
I mean, hell, dude, like in my dynasty, in the top 25, Mizzou is number 1.
Oh yeah,
Like,
the second yeah that 2nd season, Maryland was number 3 for a while, and then I think they lost a couple at the end. But yeah, for a while, it was like Maryland was 3. Vandy was like 8-1 at one point, I was like, what the fuck is going on?
And like I don't have a problem with it, but it's not realistic, which is like, it is a video game. It's fine that it wants to be crazy, but it's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird seeing Mizzou as the best team in the country, but
Shit.
whatever.
And like, I remember in NCAA 14, after you play Dynasty for a few years, like the service academies are always at the top because the computer doesn't know how to stop the read option. So
Oh shit.
there's one year, I forget who I was, what dynasty I had. But I played I was Minnesota. That was it. I played Navy in the national championship.
Christ.
And I'm not gonna lie, it takes a second to adjust to the read option, but once you stop it, it's pretty easy. But yeah, that was one. So I guess I can't really complain about this not being realistic when like an actual Power 5 team is good. When like Army and Navy are fucking playing for national championships in the other games.
Right. I mean, it is what it is. It's a video game. It's gonna be hard anyways if you get to the natty. It's gonna be tough, no matter who you're playing. I hope I get there one day.
Yeah.
If I can stop changing schools.
Yeah, you got to build a program. You can't just.
I know. I almost just want to. I almost just want to start over. That's how disappointed I am. But I'm not. I'm not gonna. I don't hate North Texas as much now that they're not like in the CUSA or wherever they were with MT. But yeah, I'm like, I just miss my boys, dude. Like, I had this stud wide receiver that could catch anything. Like, whatever.
Yeah, my goal at the end of this third season is to be in the top 25. We will see how that goes. My team got just maybe a smidge better from last season, so we'll see what happens. Maybe a smidge is all I needed.
If you dominate conference play, you'll be ranked.
Yeah. Last night, Will and I were at a bar, and I was looking up the last MAC team that was ranked, and it was Ball State in the COVID year and they were like 25. That was like it. Like,
yeah, I remember back in the day, Northern Illinois was actually like pretty damn good. They had his quarterback named Jordan Lynch, and he was a baller. He was fast ass white boy. But yeah, if you just dominate your conference play, you should get in. You should be ranked, I should say.
We'll see what happens. I am having a ton of fun with this game, honestly. It's kind of all I think about when I'm at work. It's more like I just want to be playing college football right now. Of course, I
gotta
say
get
that.
Back to my other job.
The Broncos need me. So, but then, like 2 hours in, I'm like screaming at the television, catch the ball. Just catch the ball. So, but yeah, it's difficult, like actually like playing the games. Like you kind of have to just like wait for someone to get open is what I've found. Like you really have to like be patient, and it's tough. It's tough, man. Especially when they got
it's
4 300-pound dudes trying to murder you. So
yeah, it's fun though. Love it.
Oh yeah, I love this game. All right, Chris, I know you wanted to start talking about USA basketball. What is going on? I've been loosely keeping up with it. What is happening?
I'm not satisfied. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Leading up to this Olympic season, whatever, like, and especially like the exhibition games they were going to play, all I was hearing was, "This is the best basketball team ever assembled. This is LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant. Like, we never seen anything like this." They're not. I they're just not. I don't know if you've been keeping up with any of these like exhibition games they've been playing. They beat South Sudan by a point. A
Mhm.
point. South Sudan. No disrespect, but what the hell are we doing?
Yeah.
You should be able to
Yeah,
get like 5 guys off
they
the street who could beat these guys.
they were replaying that game at the bar last night, and Will was like, "Oh, they're losing again," and I was like, "Oh, this is they're for some reason they're replaying this game."
Yeah, they were down like 16, I think, at the half.
Yeah, they were down for the majority of the time we were there.
Yeah.
And
And
I think how many points favorited were they?
43 and a half.
Yeah.
And they won
That's
101 to 100.
I mean, that's bad.
Yeah. And after the game, they were talking about the country of South Sudan, which apparently hasn't been a country for that long. Like, they just got their independence. They don't even have like an indoor basketball court in the entire country.
Good
Uh-oh.
Lord.
Yeah. Like, what the hell are we doing? And I don't.
Could you
I know they're not trying right now because they don't have to, but you
uh-huh.
should be able to put 25% effort in and beat these guys by 40 points.
Correct. I was going to ask, do you think this is just them chalking it up to them not really trying? Like once
Yeah.
they get there, they're there, and then the flip or the switch flips, and it's like
fucking better.
game
Well,
on.
see, that's what I was saying. I was like, whatever. Like, yes, that is very embarrassing, but yeah, you just got to flip the switch when you get there. They played another game after South Sudan. They played Germany. So you got to think, oh, they're going to come out, like, let's dominate these guys. They won by, let's see, I have the score right here. They won by 4. Germany.
Do you know how many points they were favorited?
I do not know the spread. I think it was like 15 and a half or something like that. So
Okay.
yeah, they weren't like 50-point favorites, but still, like, I don't give a damn about the spread. You should be beating these guys by 40 points.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care about the spread like gambling wise, but like I think it shows how dominant that this team should have been. And I get not covering 43, 44 points. That's a lot of points. But damn, like 15, like you couldn't beat Germany by 15.
And like Germany has some guys like Dennis Schroeder plays for them, so like they have some NBA talent. But like, I mean, come on. So I keep waiting for them to flip that, and it's not every game has been like that. They beat Canada, who's got some guys by 14. They beat Serbia. They dummied Serbia, like beat them by 25. So it's like they show that ability to be dominant. But then you also see South Sudan 1 point, Australia 6 points, Germany 4 points. It's like, guys, like, if like we're gonna win gold. Like, I'm not concerned about that. I'm not like, oh,
maybe,
no,
maybe.
we are. I'm not like, oh, what if we don't? That's not enough. This is like people were saying, this is the best basketball team assembled since the Dream Team, and I don't want this team mentioned in the same breath as the Dream Team at this point.
Yeah,
this is unacceptable.
Yes.
This is unacceptable as an American. This is unacceptable. I demand better from LeBron James and Steph Curry. Do better.
I think the Olympics start on Friday.
Yeah, I don't know when the basketball team plays, but
they're playing the 28th, which is a Monday. No, Sunday. They're playing Serbia.
I mean, we already played them, but
yeah. So good luck, guys. I guess. Like, I mean, do your best.
They beat them by 20.
Do better than you've been doing.
They beat Serbia by 26 in exhibition play, so I need at least 30 for this game to count.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you hear
mean,
that? You know, we know that they're big fans of the show, you know.
Oh yeah, they're always watching. So
the
yeah,
Serbians.
maybe. I don't know. I haven't looked at our Serbian numbers.
Yeah,
Yeah, LeBron James, Steph Curry, and the rest of them put this on the bulletin. We're like, Chris Walker needs you to do better. This is unacceptable.
absolutely. We'll get that. We'll get that straight over to him as soon as this episode airs.
They'll find it. It's fine.
Yeah,
They know where to find me.
Yeah, they do. They know where to find us. If they don't like what we're saying, then just play better. I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
But
Put this watch this before every game. Be
Yeah.
like, hey, these guys they represent the American public. We need to be better.
moving on from the NBA, let's go ahead, touch back a little bit on college football with some college football win totals. Now I completely forgot that we were still doing this, so I do not have one prepared, but the other two boys do. I have an NFL total for later. Not a total, but a prop for later. But I'm gonna throw it to Chris.
All right. Well, I've been so obsessed with the Mountain West with my San Jose State Spartans dynasty. I've got a win total from the Mountain West. It's not the Spartans. Sorry, boys. Going with Fresno State. Over 8 wins at -120. I believe you can get this on DraftKings. There are some 7.5s floating around out there. They're pretty juicy though, like -140, -150. But I think they're gonna. So I'm taking the 8. I think they're gonna win at least 8 or 9. So I like this. They have one of the best defenses in the country, or not in the country. Excuse me, the conference. That would. They were third in the Mountain West in points per game last season. And they were second in sacks and first interceptions in the Mountain West. And they bring back pretty much everyone, including star defensive back Dean Clark. He was second on the team in both tackles and picks last season. The guy's a stud. I really like this defense. It's them and Boise State have the two best defenses in the conference. And honestly, if both those teams end up playing for the Mountain West Championship, it wouldn't be a surprise. On offense, they did lose their quarterback. I believe he transferred somewhere. But they brought in Mikey Keene Mikey Keene. There we go, from UCF. The guy balled out last season. Threw for damn near 3,000 yards and 24 touchdowns. Really like this team. They have a pretty easy schedule. They're going to be favored in probably about 9 of their 11 games, regular season games. Or yeah, 9. Sorry, I wrote that down wrong. They play Michigan in their first game, so they're probably going to lose that. But they'll be favored in 9 of their remaining 11 games. Their home games are kind of easy. They have New Mexico, UNLV, Nevada, and Air Force. They should be at least a touchdown favorite in all those games. Yeah, I think they have a phenomenal defense. They should have a really good offense. Yeah. So Fresno State over 8 wins, DraftKings. If you want to sprinkle them to win the Mountain West, that could be a wise investment. I don't know what that number is right now, but it's either going to be them or Boise State. And honestly, whoever wins that will probably play in the college football playoff. So yeah, Fresno State over 8 wins is my win total of the week.
Oh yeah. Will, since you don't have one prepared, you have to take Western Michigan no matter what it is. I don't make the rules. You came ill prepared. These are the consequences, or this could be a positive for you.
They are one of the best teams in the MAC, so it'll probably be kind of high, but honestly, probably a good bet.
I'll let you
I don't know.
I'm looking right now.
Oh, you're looking at, okay, I was going to look it up. Sean, what you got?
All right. Well, we've been doing a lot of overs and unders, and I'm going to round things out with an under. Rutgers under 6.5 wins. I see them maybe winning 5 games. I think it's hard to say. UCS, Washington, Wisconsin, Illinois, Michigan State, UCLA. It'll get 7. It'll be tough to get 7 wins out of this team. They're going to start out 2-0. They play Howard and Akron weeks 1 and 2. But luckily for Rutgers, Washington and UCLA have to travel to New Jersey. But we'll see. I'm not totally convinced on how this, back and forth travel will affect these children, because they are children. They bounce back quicker, but I do think it's stupid that 2 schools on complete opposite sides of the country are in the same conference, but whatever. It's another topic. Anyways, this one's less juicy at -105. Rutgers ain't winning 7 games. So lock it in under 6.5, -105. Great value. Bad team. Take it. Lock it in.
I like that a lot. I have that written down here.
Okay.
I was deciding between that and Fresno, so I'm glad I took Fresno.
Oh shit! Hell yeah.
But yeah, in my notes, I have something that you will like. Since Greg Schiano returned to Rutgers somewhat in shame after being ran out of Knoxville after a day, they have not won 6 games, or more than 6 games under Greg Schiano in his second stint. So, and they won 6 games last season with a much easier schedule. So seeing them win 7 this year is a stretch. So I really like that pick.
I saw that. I don't know why I didn't write it down. But thank you for informing our viewers who didn't know.
Of course.
For me.
Yeah.
What's Michigan State looking like? Or
Western
I'm sorry,
Michigan.
not Western Michigan.
So on FanDuel, Western Michigan's regular season wins over 6.5 plus 100.
Oh. I just gave you a gem. I did the scouting report and everything for you.
What's their schedule look like? I thought it would be like 7.5, honestly. I mean, you should know. You coached them.
You did coach.
I coached them to 10 wins.
Well, if you can get them to 10 wins, then no offense, a real coach should get them to at least 7.
Well, weeks 1 and 2 they play Wisconsin and Ohio State.
Yeah.
Then they go to FCS and then Marshall. That could be tough. Then they start getting into Maction.
Their conference schedule is pretty weak. Other than Northern Illinois, they should be fine. Because Ball State is terrible. Buffalo is terrible. Kent State is the worst team in the country almost. Yeah, you should be fine.
I low-key low key like that. And we just kind of pulled it out of our ass.
You know what? I'm add it to my card. Western Michigan over 6.5 wins.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Cool. Do we now move on to the NFL?
Yeah, we can. We can start.
NFL.
Do you want to explain the new system we have, or should I?
You should.
Okay. It's been very hard to decide what prop we're gonna do for these 13 weeks of picks for the NFL. So I just made wheels for the boys on different props on what to take, so nobody can argue and nobody can you get something you don't like, too bad. We're gonna take it. And that's just how it is.
So on the wheel, it's a prop for like receiving yards, sacks, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it's
and then you spin it, and then whatever you get, you get.
Yep.
Just explaining it for them. Because we're all about wheels.
Oh, we're all about. We love a good wheel.
That's how Will decided his Western Michigan dynasty.
Yeah, and that's
That's
honestly
right.
kind of where I got the idea from. But yeah, we've got rushing touchdowns, passing yards, receiving yards, passing touchdowns, rushing yards, receiving touchdowns, and sacks. Because we had to slip a little defense in there. We got to have at least one defensive prop for these 13 weeks of picks. We just have to.
Right.
So the boys have been given their wheel picks. I sent them to Will. I'm not sure if he will put them in the video or not before we get into it, but we'll let you know. But yeah, I like this. It's simple. It's easy, and we get a little variety from everybody, from individuals. So I think
From
this
the
will work out
panel.
well. From the
I like
panel,
it a lot.
yes, yeah. I mean, the wheel is how we decide our fantasy draft as well. So we're big wheel guys, honestly.
It used when I worked in an office, it used to be like that's how I would decide what I ate for lunch that day. I used to
Yeah,
wheel almost every decision in my life.
you
Maybe
did
not a
do
good
that.
thing,
You
but
did do that a couple of times, and I was like, wow, just putting your life in the hands of a wheel, like how freeing is that?
I don't want to decide things. I'm not very
Yeah.
bright. Let's make the wheel decide.
You know what? You think too much and you make the wrong decision. So just let the wheel decide.
Exactly. So
But
anyway,
All right.
let's actually
Will goes
start
first.
out. Yeah, let's start out. I was gonna say let's start out with Will on his wheel pick. Tell the people what your wheel pick was, Will.
My wheel pick this week was sacks. Was not excited when I got the sacks. Had to do some sack research. So,
But you got it out of the way. You don't have to do sacks anymore.
yeah, I got it out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And upon doing research, I found
Of sacks.
there's no, yes, upon doing sack research, there's no like, at least right now in the summer, there's no like personal sack win total like per player. So, the next best thing I found was who will lead the league in sacks on Caesars. Like, because no other book that I checked had kind of anything like MGM. They do their futures like they organize them super weird.
It's really
and it was
bad.
just like
It's
they
really
only had
bad.
like singular. Yeah, only like random singular players, like sack totals, and it wasn't all of them. It wasn't like all of the players on Miami. It was just like Quiddy Pay on the Colts, and then it was like, like Sam Hubbard on the Bengals, and it was just like, what this is absurd. So the best thing I could find was on the Caesars book for sack leaders for the season, and so my pick for sacks for the most sacks this season is Myles Garrett at plus 500. And this is why. Myles Garrett, outside of 1 year, and outside of 2019, he has played 11 games or more. It's pretty consistent. And also, aside from his rookie year, he has had 10 or more sacks every year. And so last year he had 14, year before 16, year before 16. And so this guy is a sack machine. I believe that it was TJ Watt that was the favorite for this at plus 300, which is tempting. But at the same time, it's kind of like he's a Watt. He's going to get injured. His risk of injury is pretty high. Just on his composition. And so this is less of a kind of a gun pick and more of like this is like I'm going to get a consistent number, probably around 16, between like 14 and 16 sacks, maybe 17. He's going to get that. And I also think that the Browns just have a better defense than the Steelers, truthfully, which kind of helps everyone else in a more cohesive manner. So that's the play. Could only find it on Caesars. Myles Garrett plus 500. Lead the league in sacks next year. All right, Sean, what is your play?
Okay. I spun receiving touchdowns, and I hope you boys know this, but I love tight ends.
Oh yeah.
Pause? Question mark? Like,
Gee, what the
I
hell are
do
we
love, yeah.
between Will's sack research and your love of tight ends? Like fucking Pride Week was last month, guys. What the hell are we doing?
Let's relax. Okay. But
I was just stating facts. It was last
I'm
month.
just looking.
I understand.
I'm just
I
looking up some
understand.
sacks.
God damn. Anyway,
Did your sack research lead you to other
websites.
promiscuous sites, perhaps?
No, only ESPN.
Okay, cool. But yes, I do love tight ends, and I love tight ends that get into the end zone even more. And no, Swifties, I'm not talking about Travis Kelce. For my pick, I'm going with the Dallas Cowboys tight end Jake Ferguson. He had a beautiful breakout year last year after the departure of Dalton Schultz. He can fulfill this role as a solid tight end. And he's actually one of the most targeted receivers in the red zone as of last year's statistics. Just a few receptions behind his teammate CeeDee Lamb, who had the most receptions in the red zone. But he scored 5 touchdowns last year, and I think he can do. I think he can do this again, and succeed beyond that. I mean, yes, he scored 5 touchdowns last year, and I think he can do this again. This line is at over 5.5 at plus 125. I think he can do this again and succeed beyond that. I mean, all he really needs to do is just get one more than last year, right? That's pretty simple. That's pretty simple.
Yeah.
And the value's pretty good. So give me Jake Ferguson over 5.5 receiving touchdowns plus 125. Lock it in. Chris, please tell me. Tell us. Tell the audience what you got.
Tell Steph Curry and LeBron James your pick.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Steph Curry and LeBron James. I got receiving yards for my wheel pick, and I know it's kind of throwing some shade earlier, but like Sean, I do love tight ends. Going with another, I thought you were going to take my guy for a second since we've been on a good wavelength here, but I'm taking a guy who people have been saying he's got to have a breakout year since he was drafted. That's Kyle Pitts. If it's not this year, it's never happening. It's just this is it for him. Over 750 and a half receiving yards, excuse me. Minus 110 on DraftKings. So Arthur Smith, he loved tight ends with the Titans. He just stopped loving tight ends apparently, and really anybody like star running backs, anybody with the Falcons. But he's out, so who gives a shit about him? New offensive coordinator Zach Robinson is calling the plays. He came over from the Rams. He ran a lot of tight end sets last year with Los Angeles. Some of the most in the league, actually. 93% of his offensive play calls, a tight end was on the field. That is fantastic for us. Kyle Pitts is healthier. He had surgery on his MCL and PCL in the offseason, which he didn't have like a major injury to those, but it was nagging him. He missed a lot of practice last season. He's going to be healthy. He's got Kirk Cousins this year, no Desmond Ritter, thank God. So yeah, I think he's, like I said, if it doesn't happen this year, when is it going to happen? This is a make or break year. He knows it. Everyone knows it. Last season, like I said, one of the worst passing offenses in the league the Falcons had. He still had 667 receiving yards, which is not good, but he just needs 84 more yards to get this number in a much more pass friendly offense, especially to tight ends. He is athletically one of the best players on that offense. So yes, give me Kyle Pitts over 750 and a half receiving yards. And I don't know if this would qualify as a breakout year, but it would be trending in the right direction.
I think it could.
He had did you know he had 1,000 yards in his rookie year? Did you know that?
Oh, then
No.
Yeah,
maybe not.
he had 1,000 yards in his rookie year, which I think a lot of that came at the end of the season because he was on one of my fantasy teams, and I just remember he was on my bench, but out of nowhere he was just racking up points. So I think most of that came when like it didn't matter. But yeah, Kyle Pitts over 750 and a half.
Hell yeah, I really like that pick. I really do. I really like that pick. I love the new offense that he's going to be under. Yeah, he's in a much better situation than he was these past 3 seasons. But yeah, I like you took the words right out of my mouth. If it's not this year, it's never going to happen. That's
this
perfect.
This
contract
pretty much
year.
Contract year because they have to pick up an option on him. So
yeah,
I mean, he needs it. He knows it, and yeah. And honestly, I think he'll probably be number 2, maybe number 3 receiving option on this team because outside of Drake London, their receiving core is doo-doo. I think I touched on a previous episode. Yeah, so I like Kyle Pitts. I think he has an outside chance to get 1,000 yards this season. If he can stay healthy and actually be a consistent factor in this team, there's no reason to think he can't get 1,000 yards. So that's wishful thinking, but over 750 and a half seems easy.
Hell yes. Okay. Before we entertain Sean's question of the week, just a little bit of news. Joe Burrow looks like Cody Rhodes.
Adrenaline in my soul. He looks exactly like him. It's crazy.
Joe Burrow.
I just wanted to I wanted to bring this up because I saw a video this morning, and nobody can confirm if it's really true. I've scoured the internet all day for it, but I think it is hilarious if true. Apparently there's a story going around that Joe Burrow shaved his head in solidarity for a Bengals fan who is battling cancer. But they wanted to meet up with him before training camp, but he couldn't do it, so he shaved his head in solidarity. The story that is being proposed is that this said fan is actually a Ravens fan that like just
duped him,
pranked him, just straight up pranked him. But I don't think this is true, but I think it's hilarious if true.
I want that.
The reason I don't think
so bad.
I want it to be true so bad, but the reason I don't think it's true is because Ravens fans aren't that smart, right? They can't be. They can't be, right? Like, just being real here. Like, they can't be like that. They can't be playing chess.
They're street smart.
They're street smart, but
yeah,
I mean,
I don't know.
I
street smarts.
I don't think that's true. I want it to be true so bad. That's
Oh,
fucking cool.
I want this to be true more than anything.
And we'll never find out because, like, if we hear from someone that, like, oh, it's true, it's like, oh, it's just someone on Twitter talking shit, and Joe
Yeah.
Burrow will never admit it. So,
Oh no, he'll never admit that.
I'm
But
I'm choosing to believe that. I like to believe in things. I'm believing in that.
yeah, hilarious if true. Absolutely. But I just wanted to share that piece of information. Well, it's not really information because it's not really confirmed, or I don't know,
Rumor.
but it's a rumor. It's a rumor. It's a hilarious rumor. And I think all the boys are choosing to believe in the rumor.
Yes, 100%. I'll tell everybody I know that. It's like, hey, did you see Joe Burrow's haircut? Some Ravens kid with cancer duped him.
But supposedly that guy doesn't even have cancer. And
Oh,
it's
some bald dude?
it's just like someone they've been like emailing like with his team, like like his PR or whoever like takes his messages or whoever, like they were like, yeah, let's meet up, and it's like, oh, he's got training camp tomorrow, so he can't meet up, but he'll shave his head in solidarity.
That's if that's all it takes, I'm gonna email Trevor Lawrence like right the hell now.
Oh yeah.
Like, hey man.
Don't get me thinking. Don't
God.
don't get me thinking about it.
God, that'd be
But
fantastic.
but yeah,
Maybe
that's
Joe Burrow's
really
just trying to finish his story.
he is. I mean, he is always trying to finish his story.
Maybe he's just trying to finish his story.
He went to the Super Bowl, didn't get it.
Just saying.
He's got to finish the story.
I don't want him to win the Super Bowl. I don't want that to happen.
I mean, like,
Well,
he looks exactly like Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, I saw someone Photoshop like Cody Rhodes tattoo on him, and I was like, if I saw if he had that neck tattoo, I saw him out in public, or not even that, just a neck tattoo, I'd be like, whoa, that's Cody Rhodes.
I'm like, the American Nightmare. What are you doing in Cincinnati?
That's fantastic.
But yeah, we had to mention it. We usually don't entertain like the fashion of it all of the NFL, but I had to bring it up. So, are you guys ready for the question of the week?
Yes.
Can't wait.
Okay. So I was listening to the radio this week or last week. And it was in the morning. And for those who don't know, Paul Kaharski was on the morning radio. He's a Titans writer. He's been writing for the Titans since they've come to Nashville. He's not really well respected, especially with the players. But he proposed a interesting point that if you are hoping that Derrick Henry has a good year with the Ravens, you are not as big of a Titans fan as you think you are. And I kind of low key, I have to kind of agree with him. Because like if you are hoping that Derrick Henry rushes for 2,000 yards and the Ravens go 0-17, that's just not gonna happen. You can't. Oh, the Ravens are Lex Luthor to the Titans, who are Superman. That's not true, but like they are our arch nemesis essentially. We have such a storied history with them of them doing us wrong, taking our players, injuring our players in playoff games. You should never, if you're a Titans fan, you should never root for the Ravens. And I kind of have to agree with him here. I'm not saying I hope he does poorly. I'm not saying I hope he gets hurt. But I hope the Ravens don't win the Super Bowl for sure. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of interested
Yeah.
to hear like what your thought process is with this like kind of question.
Yeah, I mean, I don't low key agree with him. I 100% agree with him. I'm not rooting for Derrick Henry to have a good season whatsoever. I don't want him to I don't want him to get hurt, and I don't want him to be like a shell of himself. But if he can just be fine, perfect. I don't want him to do well. I will never root for the Ravens. Like, no, I don't want him to succeed whatsoever. If he can stay healthy, I don't really care what numbers he puts up. And that's like, I don't I've seen a lot of people saying like, "Oh, he gave so much to this city, to this team, he blah blah blah." It's like, he doesn't care about me. He doesn't. One day he'll come back to Nashville and be like, "Oh, I think love all of you Titans fans." It's like, yes, I love him, but you play for a different team now. I'm not caught up in this whole fantasy world of I have to be loyal to you no matter like what team. Like, if he went to like the Rams or someone, I could give a shit. But no, you willingly signed with our arch rival, a team that we did battle with in the playoffs twice when you were here. So it's not like he wasn't here for part of the rivalry. No, I'm not rooting. I don't want him to get hurt. That is the only thing I'll say. If he rushes for 600 yards next season and the Ravens go 8-9, I'm like, all right, that's fantastic. But yeah,
100% agree.
I don't. I just stay healthy. That's all I said. That's all I care about.
Yep. 100% agree.
Mhm. I'm sort of in the same book as Chris. When I think about it, less of a kind of a fine point to it for me personally. Less of a line in the sand. I do hope that the Ravens don't do well, but you know, I certainly don't wish injury on anyone, except if I'm playing them in fantasy football. But with in like I guess a certain scenario, if the Ravens win the Super Bowl and Derrick Henry has a Super Bowl, I won't be mad, I guess.
I'll be furious.
I'll be furious.
I'll be mad that I'd be mad that the Ravens won, but I'd be like, well, Derrick, I'm happy for Derrick.
See, like,
And
well,
that's kind of where it ends.
mhm.
I would be
Like it's
furious if the Ravens won a Super Bowl. I don't care. Like, I don't care. He's
Yeah.
not on like I think he's a great guy, great dude. But he doesn't play for the Titans anymore, so I don't want him to have success in his career. That's just how football and all sports work.
Yeah, it's how a fandom should work. But I think us as Titans fans, not us personally, but as Titans fans in general, uh, they they like to see players succeed after they have been through us. A good example of that was when Mariota got out of here and went to the Raiders, and they were like, "Oh, I hope Marcus does well." And it's like he's a backup for the Raiders. It was like, "Oh, he's such a nice guy." It was like, who gives a shit if he's a nice guy? He was a terrible quarterback. Like,
Yes, yeah.
he had a few highlight plays. He had more than a few. But I'm just like dumbfounded by and people were like, all on Paul's ass on Twitter, and I was just like, he is making a excellent point here. Like, you shouldn't be rooting for a specific player on a rival team. Like,
yes.
you can say that you would like the Ravens to win 0 games, but Derrick Henry rush for like 5,000 yards and have 15 touchdowns or whatever, but like that's just not gonna happen.
No,
You have to be realistic about it. And at the end of the day, you have to be like, I wish you luck. I hope you don't get injured, but also fuck you.
exactly. Like, and it's not like if
Yeah.
he was traded there or whatever, it would be somewhat of a different story. But no, he chose to go there. He made that choice, and like whatever, like chase, get your bag while you still can. But no, I wish you zero success in your future endeavors.
Yeah, I mean, do you think the Eagles like wished T.O. all the best when he went to the Cowboys? Do you
No,
think the 49ers wished Richard Sherman all the best when he went to the Seahawks? Do you think the Packers wished Brett Favre all the best when he went to the Vikings? Absolutely not.
yeah, no, it's loser mentality to do that.
It is loser mentality, and that is what Titans fans are. We are loser mentality because we have nothing.
Because we're losers.
We have nothing but L's. We have nothing but L's in our back pocket, and that's just who we are. But like, I'm kind of tired of making excuses like that to wish players all the best on our rival team. No, I'm sorry. I hope you don't get hurt, Derek. I love you. You were like one of my favorite players that have ever played here, but do not win a Super Bowl with the Ravens. Please, God, do not win a Super Bowl with the Ravens. And so that's it. That's all I just had to bring it up. I thought it was an interesting point, and I'm glad that you guys are more or less on my side and on Paul's side.
Mm-hmm.
Will, do you want to wrap us up?
Yes, I'm wrapping up right now. Okay, well, thank you so much for listening and watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Really helps us out. Really helps out the reach. Check out the Trendscenter app. Link in bio, 15% off of a premium membership. The #1 tool for sports bettors that is out there. You can make your money back just with a couple bets. It's crazy. It's insane. Yeah, link in the bio. Come subscribe. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week. There's 3 of us. Now let's make some money.